What's up, everybody? All my Element people. This is Kevin from Steady Garage, and I'm over here with Miguel. We're about to install the new Zeus armor replacement window with the Molle panel on both sides, in and out. This whole setup is all made from aluminum. Everything on this unit weighs 6 pounds. It's gonna come pre-assembled or partially assembled, so that's easier to ship. And when you receive it, all you have to do is take it apart, because some of these items that you're going to remove from the factory glass is going to transfer over onto the panel. So you can see that on this door, Miguel already moved this plastic that actually covers this portion of the door along with the seatbelt. He has this whole shelf system that is installed, but he's going to show you in another video how he's going to take off the plastic panels and how everything's going to work together with his nice shelf setup right here. All right, so first thing first, we're gonna pull out this plastic cover. It's really easy. You're just gonna go in there with your fingernails and just slide it forward or towards yourself. The latch bolt is actually 8mm. So we're gonna take these two bolts off first. And just be careful not to drop anything. And there we go. So the bracket and the two bolt will come off. This is just a little retainer that goes in between the bracket and the body. So now that the latch is unbolted, you can see that the window is already moving. So this is where you'll have to be really careful. I highly recommend just putting some painter's tape from the top of the door to the glass, just so that way it just doesn't drop and fall off. We're not even gonna be shy about the painter's tape, because tape is cheap, glass is expensive, and especially original Honda glass. So you want to keep this and make sure that it's really well protected. We're going to go ahead and remove the two hinge bolt on the top and the two hinge bolt on the bottom. So we're going to use the same deep socket number 8, and then we're going to carefully remove these nuts, because you don't want to drop it. If you drop it, it's going to fall all the way down on the door. So take your time and be extra careful with this. The best thing to do is actually put a magnet in here, if you have one, or have a magnetic socket, or just put some painter's tape just to kind of hold it so it's not slippery. That's also a pretty good thing to do before you zap this off. All right, make sure it's all the way out. Just careful. Woo, you see that? So the painter tape tricks work. Okay, now we're gonna slide the glass out. And you see what I mean by the painter's tape holding it in place. So after that, we're just gonna tear off the tape. So now that we have the glass on the table, we're gonna transfer every original part is gonna transfer over to the Zeus panel. All the rubber, the snap rings, the washer, the hinges, everything's gonna transfer over. The good thing about the Zeus replacement panel is that the thickness is the same as the glass. The original glass thickness is the same. There's also a curvature. I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but the curvature also replicates or mimics the original glass as well. We're gonna use a small flathead screwdriver or a pick, whatever tools you have. I wanna slowly pry off the circlip. Just be careful, because this thing could go flying anywhere, so you kind of wanna keep your fingers right in front of where the exit is. Just carefully and slowly pry it off, and it come off right there. And then the rubber seal or the gasket. Oh, there you go. So this is the retainer, I guess, pin. And then we're gonna feed this gasket through the hole. Right now we're on the hinge. There's a circlip, and then we're gonna take out this washer. And then this is the hinge. So this goes right on top. And then the same thing, the pin and the gasket. We're just gonna feed it through. Just carefully take your time. You don't wanna force it and rip it, because then we'll have another problem. But these gaskets are good, Miguel. Nice and soft.
Yeah.
That's in great condition. Okay, so what we're doing is trying to make sure that the rubber gasket or the rubber grommet is fully seated, and then the pin is fully seated as well, because when you put it in, this lip right here, this channel right here, the circlip has to fit in there. So when you put this all together, you're gonna try to get that channel exposed so that way you can slip the circlip in there. So let's see if I could do it by hand. Not that strong, so. Oh, okay, nice. There you go. That's one down. And now that we have all the original Honda latches and hinges on here, we're gonna go ahead and reassemble the Molle panel, because it's easier to do it while it's on the table instead of fighting it when it's like vertical. Things are gonna fall, things are gonna slip out of place. So let's just handle it on the table. Before you drop the panel over the outside Molle panel, just make sure all the hardware has all the appropriate washers and spacer, so everything's in place. And then we're gonna carefully slip it through. But now we're gonna drop all the spacer in place. And then the inside panel will slide right in. Okay, so now that we have all the acorn nuts hand tightened, before we actually tighten it all down, make sure the carriage bolt are sitting flush and proper on the outside. Then we'll go ahead and tighten everything up. Okay, that's good. All right, let's go on over to the car.
In this kit, you will also get this rubber seal. And then what you want to do with this seal is you just want to install this around. So this part is gonna face inside the car and this is gonna face outside the car. So I'm going to start like by the corner here. So like if this is installed, it's facing down. So you just gotta push it in, that's all. Now because this part hits the seal, I will have to cut a small opening right where this part is. Just want to show you, it's similar to this one right here. I already cut it. So you're just gonna trim here and then here and here to make it fit. This is the piece that just came out and this is how it looks, and then you're just gonna push it in. So this is how it's gonna look with the gasket installed. This one could be better. This was a prototype, so if you can cut this more like straight so it can fit perfectly, and you're always gonna have some kind of like the gas sticking out here, just because this piece inside hits for the gasket to install. But for me, it's not really a big deal. I'm pretty sure that maybe you guys can figure out a way to cut it more or something. I will have to spend more time on this just to make it look cleaner, but in general, it does its job. Covers for rain and wind noises.
Okay, so now we're gonna mount the panel onto the car. So just careful, because these actually rotate. So you kind of make sure that it's kind of in position, and you can move it around and align it. So now with that there, I'm gonna use one hand to hold the panel in position, and I'm gonna get at least one bolt started. Easiest one will be the one with the biggest hole that you can fit your finger through. Remember, just take your time with this, because if it drops, these might not be found ever. Just kidding, you could get a magnet and take it out, but you don't want to waste time to do that. And slowly guide it. Keep it nice and straight. We always get a couple of threads started, just so that way we make sure it's not cross-threaded. And then once you get a couple of threads started with your fingers, go ahead and tighten it up. And then we're gonna leave it a little bit loose, just to make sure that things are all good. Hey Molly, looking good over here. So this dual Molle panel is made by Zeus Armor. You can get it at steadygarage.com. So let's check it out. It replaces the factory glass on the Honda Element. All the original functionality works. So the original latch, if you want to open it up for some fresh air, you can mount things on here: spices, bags, flashlight, weapons, whatever it is. Have fun with it. Happy overlanding, happy elementing.